Hello and welcome to the CAA semifinals on the women's side. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by former Seawolf All-American Tewaaraton finalist and one of the best to do it, Kylie Ohlmiller, for this matchup between the Seawolves from Stony Brook and from Delaware. Excited to bring you this one on Lacrosse TV from Towson Stadium. Kylie, excited to have you here with us. Who are some of the players to watch?
Yeah, excited to be here. It's officially May, so that means it's big time lacrosse. It's win or go home for a lot of these teams, so we're going to see a lot of exciting lacrosse here today. So far today, Ellie Macera is one of those players that really just makes the game look so easy. She's a player for Stony Brook that was just named to the top 25 Tewaaraton nominees. She has had multiple games where she can get draw controls, points, cause turnovers, all of it. When you watch her play, you can see why they rely so much on her when it comes to Stony Brook's success. On the other side, there's Sophia Hronika. She's a player for Delaware that just truly stands out to me. And most of the time we see offensive players getting some love here on the broadcast, but this is a defensive player for Delaware who really just takes control of games and can lead from pretty much anywhere out on the field.
Awesome, and certainly a big one for both of these teams, win and advance. You saw the graphic there for our second semifinal matchup. So looking forward to seeing the winner of this game take on the winner of Drexel and Towson. Just about ready to get underway in this one. Beautiful day in Baltimore. So certainly perfect weather for lacrosse today. And we're off. Working the offense, shot on goal. That one stopped.
Already seeing some effort from Ellie Macera off the draw control there. Just getting it started for Stony Brook. And another player that's been really big for them this year is Morgan Mitchell. You saw her on the ride there. She was on that cut, and it was a nice save on the other end for Delaware. Taking a look at Delaware's offense now.
And Delaware looking to get into their settled offense here. Saw a quick shot from Stony Brook. Stony Brook, a team that can hurt you in a bunch of different ways. Delaware looking to keep this game a little closer than the game they had during the regular season, as Stony Brook went off for 19. Nice look inside. There's the shot and the early goal for Delaware. That is an excellent back cut as they're able to get on the board first.
That was a beautiful, beautiful play. And you mentioned their earlier game earlier this season, and Delaware came out really strong in that game, as they're doing here as well. They're the first on the board. You see the cut from Lizzie Shue right across the middle. She sees that opening right between the defenders in the zone. And that's a really heads up play, just to be able to recognize that, hey, I'm the one open. Let me make sure I cut hard and I show my stick. And head coach Amy Altig had nothing but great things to say about how much she has been stepping up for their offense as of late. And you can see it here with this 1-0 start.
Like Verhorst, Levernassi on the draw. Another one going the Seawolves' way. Gonna get a whistle there. That's going to come out another draw win for Stony Brook. But to get the quick start going.
Noticing Stony Brook taking their time a little bit in their offensive possession. A little bit of two-man here from Ellie Macera and Morgan Mitchell.
And they're passing up a good shot for a chance at a better one. Macquarie sends it in, but that one knocked away. It's going to stay with Stony Brook.
Nice hustle play there and a great crash by Delaware. You could tell they're locked in to start this game.
In this game, obviously, meaning the season right now for Delaware, coming in at 8-7. Lost some really close games. Had a couple of overtime losses this season. So the record could have gone a little different way with a few more bounces. It looks like that's going to be a crease violation. Ball found its way into the back of the net, but that one's not going to count. Delaware ball.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Chris, Delaware had a close game against actually the only undefeated team in the nation still, Denver. They played them 13-6. So they're a team that can definitely stick with you, and they can definitely win big games. So we can't count them out quite yet today.
And Delaware out to the 1-0 lead early in this one. They start their rotation through the middle. Looked like there was an opportunity on the doorstep. That one picked off. Coming through. It's Duchnowski with the heads-up play. And off to the races once again. Stony Brook with an opportunity on the break. Nice little twister pass. That one on the doorstep. That one finds the back of the net. That is an excellent finish from Jolie Creo.
This is just textbook Stony Brook lacrosse here. You get an incredible play on the other end by goalkeeper Haley Duchnowski, who just kind of picks off the pass from X that's heading inside into their zone. You see her playing as that eighth defender, really just picks it off. And Jaden Hampel heading up the other way. She's able to handle that pressure as defenders slide to her. And same thing with Jolie Creo, right on the doorstep there. She's a veteran. She played at Holy Cross for 4 years and is a graduate transfer here at Stony Brook now. So she understands these big game moments. She understands what it takes to, really put her team on the board. And she's able to handle that pressure right there from those sliding defenders on the crease and finish that shot.
And all tied up as we close in on 11.5 minutes to play here in the first. Both teams looking pretty active on the offensive side. See if they can keep this pace up. Oh, an opportunity here on the break. Got a one-on-one, and that one finds the back of the net. Unfortunate bounce for Stony Brook, and Delaware takes advantage as they go back on top just 3 seconds after the last finish.
That's a big momentum play right there. Right off the draw, I was just going to say, it was a long draw. It went over the restraining line. And that's a really heads-up play for one of those attackers to make sure that you're ready on the line. If you're a young player watching at home right now, watching this game, making sure that you're ready behind that restraining line when the draw goes up is so important. You can find yourself ready for that scenario, ready to run through that ground ball and get a quick goal, just like right there. And same thing goes for the defenders, making sure that you have, your head in the game ready to go for those ground balls, just in case the draw does go long. So big time play there for Delaware to keep themselves up.
And Lizzie Sue on the goal there. And that's Yurchak and Sue for Delaware on the score sheet. The draw win, nice look inside on the back cut. Shot just on the outside, but backed up. So Creo's going to bring it in. Real tight window on that pass. Attacker unable to corral it. Delaware comes up with the ball.
Really tight window, like you said. I think they're doing a great job on defense. Delaware's defense is really crashing hard on the player that we spotlighted in the beginning for Stony Brook, Ellie Macera. Anytime the ball's passed inside to her or she sees an outside pass outside the 8, they're sending a double. They're ready to go, crashing it on the inside anytime the ball's passed inside to her. So it was a nice job there by Delaware's defense.
Nice overhead check in the middle by Haley Dillon. That stays Delaware. Delaware 2 goals, one coming out of the settled, one coming on the draw. I've been looking for those cutters coming through the middle.
Definitely sending a lot of cutters. Their 2 cutters are kind of coming from those elbows, hanging out in there for a second as the Stony Brook defenders flash to them, recognize them, and then have to pop back to their zone.
And coming towards the end of the shot clock here. And that one's going to be going against Delaware. Comes up Stony Brook. The charge coming through.
Those offensive fouls, those charge calls are big-time momentum plays for a defense. They're heading the other way for Stony Brook. That one was Lindsay Rongo on the defensive play.
And while Delaware didn't get a good look at the cage there, they did take almost the full 90 seconds off the clock. So seem to be doing a pretty good job so far of controlling the tempo.
Definitely looking control of this game so far, and you see that double team, that early slide coming to number 12 up top. Jolie Creo with the ball down low now.
Looked like she stepped in the crease, and she did. But that was a nice recovery by Delaware there. It looked like Creo had a pretty straight line to the goal coming in. There's a nice cross-field look. One more pass was there. Like it's going to be a hold. It's going to be the first opportunity to see a shot from the 8-meter. Liverness going to be the one to take it.
A nice crash there by the Stony Brook defense. Off the free position, Claire Levy got a good stick on it. But Delaware able to take on those second chance opportunities right off the ground ball. We're going to see a yellow card on Stony Brook's Jaden Hampel. And we'll get another free position look for Delaware's offense. We'll see if they look to take this free position shot, or as you see them kind of putting some substitutes in, some new personnel, maybe they'll look to take the fresh 90-second shot clock and work for a better opportunity off of a player up possession. Liverness lines up for it, but pulls it out, opts for the woman up possession instead. Stony Brook has 6 defenders versus Delaware's 7 offensive players. They're working around here. Delaware's seen some nice inside cuts, and that one looked as if they looked to force it in a bit. Stony Brook held strong on their woman down defense. Claire Levy clearing the ball up.
Stony Brook back on the offensive side. A little bit of a slow start for them. I think by their standards, obviously a deep team in terms of their offensive capability.
You see a little bit of a face guard there on Ellie Macera out in the top left corner of your screen. Delaware is up a player still, kind of running out that woman up clock here is Stony Brook. They'll leave that face guard on Ellie Macera and let the rest of the players play still woman up behind that.
Just closing on 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Kaylin Hart coming downhill. Draws the double. Under 20 on the shot clock. Sarah finally able to get her hands on the ball. Looking for the cross pass, can't find it. Coming up Delaware. But again, killing the penalty. Priority on that offensive possession.
Definitely the priority was killing that penalty, and a nice hustle play here. Great ride. Can be called back.
That's a tough break. Good bat down for the ball.
Looked as if there was a swing after the bat down, which referees were standing right there. So it's a good safe call. But a nice, like you said, a good initial bat down of the ball. Almost an interception there for Kaylin Hart.
Yurchuk with it.
That'll be another yellow card, I believe, for Stony Brook. That one will be on Kaylin Hart. Didn't quite get a great look at the foul there. But nevertheless, another possession here for Delaware to get a look at the woman up opportunity on their offensive end.
And certainly a big opportunity to go up 2 goals here, which obviously would be the largest lead of the game. Oh, nice cut inside and the finish. Looked like Lizzie Sue with the second of the day.
That was a beautiful, beautiful play there by Sue. Again, her second goal of the game. She has really been stepping up lately for this offense. Head coach Amy Altig had nothing but great things to say about her play as of late. And this is just a great look here. She's wide open at the top, and instead of just stepping in and taking that shot as she sees those sliding defenders coming to her, she utilizes that windup to actually get the defense to really bite towards her stick, and then is a step ahead of them and kind of pulls right across and is able to put the ball in the back of the net with a wide open look at the cage. Really nice play to go up 2 there.
The CAA Women's Lacrosse Championship is brought to you by UNCW's Cameron School of Business, providing students with the business education they need to succeed. Visit uncw.edu/CSB today. And by the B1 patch from buyb1.com. Don't compete without it.
Stony Brook coming downhill once again, opts to pull it out. Step inside of 5 minutes here in the first. A little bit of a hidden ball trick coming from behind. Delaware doesn't bite. Rotation coming again. Now right into the stick of Mercy McCarthy.
McCarthy stood strong on that one, really stood tall. Coming around the crease was Morgan Mitchell. A lot of good ball movement there from Stony Brook's offense, and looks as if they've kind of just had a little bit of a disheveled start, a couple yellow cards, a couple woman down situations, and kind of just looking to force some things to get back up into this game.
Like I mentioned, a 19-6 victory during the regular season for Stony Brook. Ambitious pass inside, that one picked off. Haley Dillon comes away with it.
Haley Dillon, a 6th-year captain for Stony Brook's defense. She's been that backer, that leader for that zone for a while now. You can rely on her for some of those big-time plays.
Levy brings it up and moves it. Stony Brook with another opportunity on the offensive side.
You watch Delaware's defense here. They're locked in 1v1 when their player has the ball. But if you watch their defenders to the adjacent. Their heads are on a swivel. They're locked in on their defender that they're watching, but their eyes are quickly up on who's dodging. You see that quick little hedge there coming from up top. They're ready to help each other.
Little pick play coming across the middle. And there's another big save by McCarthy. Like we might be getting another card here. Appears to be for a cross check.
That one will be on Jolie Creo.
Wait.
for Stony Brook. Another card issued to an attacker on the ride for Stony Brook. This is the second time that's happened so far in this first quarter alone. So just things to note when you get that many yellow cards so early in the game, at least for individual players, as those players come back on the field. You see number 14, Kaylin Hart, also already has one. Those players get another yellow card throughout the course of this game. They're done for the game. So just things that they want to think in the back of their head as Delaware heads back on to another woman up opportunity.
And certainly this Stony Brook squad is a hardworking team. In some instances, live by the sword, die by the sword, as you're always going to be playing with that high effort, especially on the ride. Take a couple of calls early, and again, like you said, in the back of the mind of these players. It's going to be a big opportunity for Delaware from the 8-meter. This collision to the front of the crease. Like Liverness with it dead center. Opts to pull it out. Looked like the defender got a piece of that one. And that's another call going against Stony Brook.
It'll be a shooting space call here. We'll get a first hash opportunity at a free position.
Liverness in the middle. Sue's going to bring it in. Takes a shot off the inside pipe. Stays with Delaware. That one nearly pushed the lead to 3. Delaware looking very confident right now. That one batted away once again. As Delaware seems to be attacking a little earlier in the shot clock now with the confidence they've got.
They're definitely moving the ball well. They came out this way the same in the regular season matchup against Stony Brook that was played at Laval Stadium.
That one picked off, heading the other direction. Haley Dillon, once again, been calling her number a lot.
Definitely stepping up big. When you see a lot of those quick passes to the inside, that's where you'll see number 23, Haley Dillon, step up on the defensive end for Stony Brook. That's her job, and she's doing a good job of it so far in this quarter.
And shot clock off. So we get to the 40-second mark here in this first quarter. Great look inside. There's the shot and the finish. It's like Claire Levy on the goal. But Stony Brook takes advantage on the back cut, wide open on the doorstep.
Beautiful cut there by Claire Levy, who is usually a defensive player for Stony Brook, but has been getting some runs on offense because she is so talented and because she can be such a spark for this team. And you see a lot of the eyes are on each individual player. At one defender for Delaware, wasn't quite sure where her player was, and you see Claire Levy just recognizing that opportunity, streaking right down the middle, and a quick catch and finish from the pass from Kaylin Hart. It's a big-time play there for the Seawolves.
Yeah, for her first goal of the season, no less.
And you could hear that on the sideline. You could hear that in the stands. You could see that in the celebration. Sometimes you just need a big time momentum play from one of your best players. And I think that was exactly that for Claire Levy right there.
Yeah, it takes her to 2 points on the season, 1 goal, 1 assist, but add that to 22 ground balls, 49 draw controls, and 10 caused turnovers. Pretty nice day at the office so far.
And just about 500 full field clears if you watch her play.
And Delaware still trying to get the handle here as we close in on 20 seconds. Have to make something happen here pretty quickly. But can't seem to get any of those passes to land. And Stony Brook throws that one away, but picked up. Hart looking inside. And that one picked up by McCarthy, and that is how the first quarter is going to end. But this one living up to the billing. 3-2 Blue Hens over the Seawolves. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. This has been exciting so far. And welcome back to the Women's CAA Semifinals as part of the championship tournament on Lacrosse TV. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by Kylie Ohlmiller. Stony Brook down 2-3 early in this one, in this 1 versus 4 matchup. What have you seen so far from these squads?
Yeah, I think Delaware has come out firing. They really have come out with a good game plan. They've been moving the ball quickly. It seems like they're kind of settling in on defense. And they've definitely just been fired up to come into this game. It was a big time loss in the regular season, and they are just coming off of a big time win versus number 2 Towson in the CAA just last week. So they have some momentum towards the end of the season. Coach Amy Altig said that they have some things that are really starting to click together all over the field, and they're looking to put that together for 60 full minutes. And you can definitely argue that they have 15 minutes so far in the books in this game.
Absolutely. But as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this game was tight early in their first matchup as well. Stony Brook only with 2 goals in the first quarter in that matchup, rattled off 17 in the final 45 minutes, while holding Delaware to just 5 over that same time frame. So I think the question you always have, obviously when you're playing a top team, is if you can keep and maintain the pace all the way through. And it looked like Riley Gillen may have been thinking about the shot before she caught that one.
Yeah, it's definitely a good backdoor cut there. But as you mentioned, kind of looked toward the cage before she fully had the ball in her stick. And that'll end up going the other way. You see Delaware with a lot of pressure on the ride here. Lindsay Rongo running the ball up for the Seawolves.
Yeah, no problem for Rongo. She's able to move it. Seen Rongo and Levy with strong performances in the clear game. Obviously, Levy in the scorebook as well. As Stony Brook looks to tie this up. Quick switch on the defensive side. So removes it. Now coming from behind. You hear that 30 call for the shot clock from the sideline. Sarah looking to get her hands free. Moves it again. Takes a check. No call. Delaware back on the offensive side.
Delaware's defensive game plan has been to shut off Ellie Macera. As you can see, they have the face guard on her when she's off ball, and she's done a good job at popping out and creating an opportunity for herself, but they immediately send that double, and that's where you saw that pressure there.
It seems like Macera working with heart. A little bit of that 2-woman game, have been able to find a little bit of space to get the ball. But like you mentioned, it's been tight. Opportunity from the 8-meter. Looks like it's going to be Sue again. She has 2 goals already. Pipe on a free position, and there she finds the back of the net. Toss your hats. That's 3. And once again, the Blue Hens up 2 early in this game.
Sue with an early hat trick here in this game, and just nice placement off the free position opportunity. That's not an easy hash to be able to capitalize on as a righty. And as you see her line up here for this free position, she gets to the middle. She does a good job at starting quickly, getting off that line the second that the whistle is blown, and protecting her stick as she gets to the middle, putting it back to that near pipe to beat Duchnowski.
And that takes her to a lead with Danielle Liverness with 29 Gs on the season for the Blue Hens. But really showing off her quick first step coming from that hash.
A little switch up on the draw taking unit here for Stony Brook. You see Liverness on the one side for Delaware and Jaden Hampel coming in for Charlotte Verhulst on Stony Brook's side.
And Verhulst had quite a bit of success early in this game. So we're settling into their offense. Sue with it up top. She's got the hot hand. And that one picked off, coming the other way.
Big play for Ella Whitehouse. Heading down the other way. We'll see if Stony Brook's able to capitalize on an offensive possession here. They've been doing a good job at staying patient, really just kind of getting their personnel in, moving the ball around. But again, as they get under that 30-second mark, which is when they've been starting to kind of get into their offense, Delaware's done a good job.
The Stony Brook defenders have been baiting them a little bit. Is that a number of pickoff plays we've seen so far, and that is not an easy play to make. What a look inside, just off the mark on the shot, coming from Creo, but doing very well to get free there. Another wide open look. And it looks like McCarthy able to track that one down. That was an excellent save.
Nice look there by the Stony Brook offense. Jaden Hampel with the wind up and the shot off that really far side. Back pipe creeping cut there. But they're able to pick it back up in the ride, heading back the other way.
Hampel once again. They have to pull it back out. Creo loses the handle, coming back the other way now. Once again, numbers opportunity for Delaware if they can take advantage. And that one just off the mark.
This is one of those back and forth track meet opportunities finally capitalized on by Stony Brook and Kaylin Hart.
Yeah, and that's a great look inside from Asura to Hart, and Hart does the rest, and she's in tight. Her first goal back to 1.
It's one of those situations in gameplay. It happens all the time in lacrosse where the ball just keeps bouncing back and forth. And we saw just a couple back and forth possessions there, but Massera able to kind of push the ball up and sees an open Kaylin Hart before her defenders are able to settle back in and passes that ball up. And Hart has been able to really finish on a lot of different opportunities so far this year. A lot of her opportunities come off of dodges or cuts across the middle on a side-winding low to high shot. She has some really great highlight reels, but she's also great at being able to finish those easy ones right on the doorstep. You saw her add that little fake and finish, and that's exactly how you kind of take a deep breath and settle down a situation like that.
Stony Brook sticking with Hampel on the draw here. Nice tight ground ball through traffic. Loses the handle on the check, but looks like that one's going to stay with Stony Brook. You see Coach Polina a little hot. All the way down towards the top of the 12-meter. But looking sharp.
As always, dressed for game day. Referees are kind of just discussing what that play was. I saw one of the referees holding up the alternating possession symbols. So this one will end up in Stony Brook's stick. We'll see what they look to do on their offensive end as they settle it down. The last goal was off of that, back and forth transition opportunity.
And that one just off the mark. Looks like it's going to stay in. Verhulst able to run it down. That one trickles in. McCarthy got a piece of it. But a really nice look splitting the defense for Stony Brook as Kaylin Hart ties the game up. Her second of the game and second in a row.
Kaylin Hart just doing what she does best, kind of weaving through different defenders. You see her kind of getting topside on the initial dodge, seeing the sliding defender, and she just splits right through those two defenders there. McCarthy had a piece of it. You can see she wants that one back, but it trickles over the line. And a goal is a goal, tying us up.
They all count the same. Although I wouldn't hate to see the 2-point line added to college lacrosse.
It's definitely something that's in the professional game. It keeps the game fun in the professional game for sure. Lots of different rules in Athletes Unlimited as compared to NCAA college game. But hopefully some of these players will be able to see that one day and be able to participate in Athletes Unlimited or in professional lacrosse one day.
Well, obviously opportunities to have rules reevaluated. UNC coach Jenny Levy, definitely a proponent of some potentially drastic rule changes. And Stony Brook here on offense, opportunity to take their first lead of the game. That was Hart looking for the Hattie. Takes the shot as she's falling down, unable to find the cage. Sarah brings it in from behind. Defensive switch. Moves it once again.
That's a tactic that a lot of offenses will use when a player is being face guarded. If the ball goes out the end line on a missed shot, the rule is that any player can pick it up as long as your team is closest to the ball on the way out. So you'll send the player that's being face guarded to go pick the ball up from the end line, which is what you just saw Miss Sarah do on the last play.
It's Hart from the 12. Tight pass inside. But the defender up the back there, Masura, and she's going to have an opportunity dead center. The dangerous play here. It goes low, but McCarthy read it the whole way. She's been very strong so far for Delaware.
Very strong, really making some different saves too in different areas. You could tell she's locked in.
By my count, that's 6 saves for her already in this one.
It's players like that that will keep this game tight. And she's doing a great job of that so far, keeping a really lethal Stony Brook offense off the board quite a bit.
Yeah, if there's anything that can turn a game on its head, it is a hot goalie. There's the look inside, and that one finds the back of the net. What a handle in tight, as Delaware able to recapture the lead, and they are not going away.
Definitely not. And they have been moving the ball so well so far this game. They're really working together, and it doesn't seem to matter who finishes the ball for them as long as someone does. And that's a beautiful cut there. As you see it, just a quick little pop from that low elbow area, and just a perfect pass. Those passes aren't easy to make, and they aren't easy to really handle sometimes as well, but a perfectly placed lead pass where you can just kind of catch and finish. And that was really well done there by Delaware's offense.
And that was Laurel McHale with just her 6th of the season. So certainly some players that haven't been huge in terms of their scoring throughout the season, making an impact today on both sides. And Stony Brook comes away with the draw once again. But Delaware not making it easy for him.
This one will be Erin McQuarrie, who gets a look at a free position opportunity as she kind of drives in, gets some contact. She'll get the second inside hash. Sometimes she looks to step down and rip these, so we'll look to see what she looks to do.
And what a finish. You called that one. As McQuarrie able to bury that one. Shades of Charlotte North.
Really pretty finish there by Erin McQuarrie. She has a great windup, and you saw it as she was kind of setting up for that free position right before the whistle. Just some of those big cradles, making sure the ball is set up in her stick. And as she steps into it, it was perfect placement. Just that off-hip stick side of McCarthy. Really nothing she can do about it when it's placed there. And just some awesome celebrations, as you can see, because that's a perfect free position shot right there.
Yeah, really, really impressive work. And I think we've seen a lot more players, with the confidence and the ability to just step down from the 8-meter.
Definitely. And I think it's something that a lot of players are able to add into their arsenal now.
And Stony Brook, another big opportunity. I don't know how Hart handled that one. Didn't find the cage, but Stony Brook maintains possession. Wide open again on the middle. And that one pops out. Looks like McCarthy got a piece of it. Sue comes away with it. Looks like that's going to be Delaware ball, but Stony Brook really pouring it on right now on the offensive side.
Definitely had a couple of opportunities there, and just kind of a little bit of an empty stick check on Charlotte Verhulst that'll head the other way for Delaware.
And obviously seems like Delaware's been playing quite a bit of defense of late here. See if they once again take this down under 30 seconds.
What's been interesting to watch about this Delaware defense so far here today is that they're not necessarily seeing the first opportunity. They're seeing the best opportunity when it comes to seeing their cutters on the inside. We'll get another free position look here on that first inside hash on the right side.
Looks like Morgan Gore is going to be the one taking the shot here. And opts to send it back up top. One knockdown coming inside. That one's going to come up Stony Brook. It's McHale on the push. But again, Stony Brook doing a great job of collapsing on the cutters. Tampa loses her footing. And that one's going to be going against Delaware.
That one will be a foul outside the 8 meter, so there won't be a free position issued.
Verhulst moves it. Mitchell takes it behind.
You see Massera trying to work for those pop outs as the ball swings her way. Hart getting some heavy pressure on ball.
But able to come away with it. Looks inside. There's the shot and the finish. What a goal inside for Stony Brook.
And right on cue is Massera. She's been looking for one all day so far today. She's been working through that face guard, and Delaware has been doing a great job of it so far. But off the ball, being off the ground here, it's picked up quickly. And this is just a great heads-up play by Massera to recognize that right off of the ground ball, her defender might not be paying as much attention as she was. And she really just bursts through that cut, demands the ball, and is able to catch and finish falling down, which she is just known for. She does a great job of it.
An excellent ball placement. Bottom corner. Not a whole lot McCarthy's going to be able to do about that. But looks like got our first time out of the game. So we're going to step aside, but don't go anywhere. And welcome back. The CAA Championship Tournament on Lacrosse TV. Chris Marshall joined by Kylie Ohlmiller. Got a real barn burner so far. 1-goal game. Stony Brook just taking their first lead of the game at 6-5 as Massera gets her 59th of the season.
Stony Brook starting off this possession out of the timeout, a woman up as there was a foul called on the push on the shot, Massera's shot before the whistle.
I think that one's going to find the back of the net as well. As McCarthy tried to go for the pickoff, couldn't find it. And Stony Brook able to capitalize to take the 2-goal lead.
Really pretty ball movement here. And as you see there, McCarthy's out of her cage, Jolie Creo with the ball at X, and Morgan Mitchell just doing what she does best. She is so good off ball. She is so sneaky when it comes to making herself available, especially even if she's covered, as you saw there. And she really did a great job at just kind of flashing for the ball there as she saw the goalie was out of the cage.
And that's number 38 on the season for Mitchell. But goalie's out. All you got to do is hit the netted portion and just batting that one in on the quick stick.
Which sometimes is way easier said than done, but well done by Morgan Mitchell.
Liverness getting an important draw control for Delaware. As Stony Brook has put together a nice little run. And Delaware settling into the offense. Get pass across, covered well by Stony Brook.
What Delaware's done a good job of so far today is moving the ball quickly. And so far on this possession, we've seen them kind of hold on to the ball a little bit each time it's in each person's stick.
And loses the handle. And Duchnowski able to corral that one, but A little bit of a moment of panic as she couldn't control it initially, but heading the other direction. It's Levy once again. And she's going to stay on.
Looks as if Stony Brook's starting to get into the swing of their offense a little bit, into the swing of things. Started off a bit frantic, just Delaware coming out really hot, really putting a couple goals in the back of the net. We see Claire Levy, who has a goal on the day, which is her first of the season, staying on offense here.
And Stony Brook also having to deal with a couple of penalties going against them, playing woman up quite a bit in the first quarter especially. But they're going to have an opportunity to extend their lead as Hart steps up to the 8-meter. Another step down shot. McCarthy able to step in front of it, make a kick save. Going to be coming in from the corner. Masura going to bring it in. Shot clock is off. Just under 38 on the game clock. Big opportunity for another momentum goal. And it seems like anything inside of 30 seconds before the quarter break hurts a little more. We'll see what the call is here. Looked like McCarthy was able to back that one up. Going to come up Delaware, 22 to play.
Looks like it's going to be a yellow card issued to Morgan Mitchell on the dangerous follow-through of that shot. As she turned around, she seems as if she hit the defender that was in front of her. She kind of caught and turned right around, hit the defender with her stick, and that'll be issued a dangerous follow-through. So Delaware will be a woman up to finish out this quarter.
There's great check. Coming back the other way, it's Hart. She's got to do something quickly. And loses the handle, but that is how the first half is going to end. Delaware, after getting out to a very hot start and taking a lead, Stony Brook storms back in the second quarter to go up by 2, but still plenty of lacrosse left to play here on Lacrosse TV. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming your way. And welcome back to the CAA Championship Tournament on Lacrosse TV. Chris Marshall and Kylie Ohlmiller with you. We've got a great game so far. Stony Brook taking the lead late in the first half, but Delaware hanging around and playing a fantastic game as we are just about ready to get underway here in the second half of action.
Yeah, Delaware has really come out strong in this first half, keeping it in this game with a dominant Stony Brook team who's been in the top 10, top 15 for the last couple of months of season. So Delaware holding on strong. We'll see if they're able to put together a strong second half as well.
We got Sue leading the way for Delaware with 3 early Gs. On the other side, 2 for Hart and singles across the board. One thing to take a look at as we get further into this game, something you mentioned earlier, are the yellow cards. Hampel, Hart, Creo, Mitchell, all on the Stony Brook side carrying a yellow. May on the Delaware side.
Yes, just a couple of yellow cards so far in this first half. We've seen a couple of woman up opportunities for both teams, more so for Delaware, who have been moving the ball really well on their offensive end. But Stony Brook, as of late in that second half, in that second quarter, we're really starting to just kind of figure out their offense a little bit and get into a little bit more of a Stony Brook swing.
And last time out during the regular season, obviously that was a long time ago. It looks like McCarthy got another piece of that one. Stony Brook 11-3 in the second half of that game. They're really coming on strong late in that game as well.
These second chance opportunities will be big as well, especially as the score is tight right now. A save for Mercy McCarthy right there, who's been really doing a great job so far in this game. A couple of big saves, but Stony Brook picking up the rebound. getting back into their offense with a fresh 60 seconds on the shot clock really gives them that time to kind of settle in and, make the defense a bit tired as well as they play just a bit more defense.
And like you said, 8 saves already on the day for McCarthy. Stony Brook gets down to the last 15 here in this shot clock. Creo takes the shot on the rollback. That one goes 5-hole. And that's the largest lead of the game for Stony Brook at 3.
Creo is known for that inside roll dodge down low, right near the crease where she usually tiptoes right across the crease and keeps the stick in her left hand. But here she's a little bit out of her comfort zone, and it's really great to see her getting to different spots, especially late in the shot clock, right? She comes up top, she's at that second hash, and pulling it over on that roll dodge to her right hand is something that defenses probably wouldn't expect from her. So to see her do it this late in the season as a veteran, I think it's really important for us to note that she is excelling and bringing her game to another level.
And that's 2 shots, 2 goals. Add an assist to that one for Creo. She's having a nice day. That was Verhulst back on the draw. We've seen Hampel and Verhulst. Going against Leberness.
This is the side of the field that Delaware had some success in early in the first quarter. They're back on this side, moving the ball quickly. Stony Brook's defense seems to be a little bit more locked in. We've seen a couple of nice looks to the inside, and that one comes off the crossbar there, picked up by Stony Brook.
And second time we've seen Delaware visit Pipe City. Sue on a free position earlier in the game. But just 1 goal for Delaware since the 6:51 mark in the first quarter after rattling off 4 pretty quickly. And there's Macera again on the back cut. No trouble at all from there. Puts it where the goalie's not, and that's her second of the day to extend the lead to 4.
Macera just really doing what she can do to get out of that face guard. They're covering her tightly, and every time she looks to pop out for the ball, they really do a good job at stepping out on her. And she notices that. She takes that to the next level here. As you see Morgan Mitchell carrying the ball, she pops out and recognizes that the back door is actually there instead of the pop out. And Morgan Mitchell does a good job at putting this ball exactly where Ellie Macera wants to see it, which is a little bit out in front of her, a little bit of an off-stick catch for Macera. But those 2 players working together for Stony Brook is really dangerous, and it's nice to see them succeed out of that face guard.
And it's tough in that face guard position. You got to hedge a little bit. If you're going to give a little bit of space, it's got to be towards the outside. You can't overcommit in that direction and get back cut. And Verhulst, more time than she knew what to do with as she turns around and finds the back of the net. And that is 2 quick ones early in the third quarter, as it might be time for Delaware to talk it over here.
You mentioned it. She caught that ball in the middle of Verhulst, and she turned around expecting some sort of contact or some sort of slide. And as she recognized, she caught the ball. Morgan Mitchell, again, 2 quick assists for her right there, back to back. And Verhulst turns around, a quick little hitch fake that'll get McCarthy moving off of her stance and puts it in the back of the cage.
And saw that Delaware squad run towards the sideline. It looked like maybe they were going to call a timeout there.
Sometimes when coaches pull their defenses over to the sideline like that right after a quick goal, It's just a quick little moment of maybe it's a little bit of advice or a little bit of something to work on, or just a quick pep talk without having to necessarily call the full timeout, just something quick so that the entire defense can hear it right in between draw controls.
And that is a big draw control win for Delaware, as they're going to get an opportunity to go back on the offensive side. But like I mentioned, it has been all Stony Brook of late. It's an 8-1 run for Stony Brook right now. Going to get an opportunity here from the 8-meter. That one's going to be Morgan Gore. And there's the shot. That one finds the back of the net from Gore, who does a great job of holding off the defender, keeping the stick safe, and finding the back of the net. That is a big, important goal for Delaware.
Morgan Gore, just a freshman too, and she's had an incredible freshman outing for Delaware this season. Right off the line there, she gets to the inside. I think that's really important to note off of a free position, especially if you're on one of those first inside hashes. First thing you want to do is get off the line quickly when the ref blows the whistle. The second thing you want to do is try to increase your angle as best you can by getting yourself to the middle. And she did a great job of that and was able to control her feet from staying out of the crease as well. Big time play for the freshman.
And that stops a run of 6 in a row for Stony Brook. So certainly a very important goal for Delaware. Hampel comes away with it. Have to wonder if maybe Liverness is getting a little tired, seeing a couple of different looks from Stony Brook in the draw circle. Liverness doing the majority of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, maybe tired, maybe looking at different looks is definitely something that Stony Brook is throwing at her just to maybe switch some things up. Most draw takers have a little bit of a different technique. So Verhulst's technique versus Hampel's technique might be showing her some different things.
And Masura once again, second and a half, third of the game, starting to take over.
Ellie Massera, hat trick early in this third quarter. She's done this multiple times so far this season. She's an incredible player. And again, just makes a lot of different things look so easy, including these free position shots. She's so speedy right off the line. And that's a perfectly placed shot right to that low bottom opposite stick side corner. That's really tough for McCarthy to get to.
From that 8-meter, we've seen a couple of different ways to do it. McQuarrie, wind up, step down, and obviously on the other side, Massera stepping inside, placing it. So obviously more than one way to score when you're coming from 8 meters.
Definitely more than one way to score, and these guys are just great examples of it, showcasing that the step down power shots are really, really important. And being able to also control your body as you kind of step inside and really get off that line. Getting to the middle is the most important thing that you can do. Getting your stick as close to the middle when you're running them in. But definitely different techniques. The best thing you can do for a free position as you practice is to find what works best for you and stay confident in it.
Different looks. Certainly keeping McCarthy a little bit off balance here to start the third. There's a double from Stony Brook as the ball comes out. They force a turnover. Out on the break once again. They got opportunity for numbers. And that one finds the back of the net for Verhulst. Her second of the quarter. Stony Brook pouring it on right now in the third.
Verhulst going all the way after a big time defensive play. The double team on the end line is one of Stony Brook's staples on defense, just kind of creating that pressure, and a big pickup for Erin McQuarrie. Charlotte Verhulst doing a little bit of everything for this team this year. Not only is she a draw taker, she can also finish, and she can also start and finish the fast break, as we saw there. So the senior really just kind of putting the team on her back in that play and really just showcasing what she can really do.
The Hart and Creo able to hold their defenders, create that lane for Verhulst. Stony Brook spreading it around right now. 7 different goal scorers for their 12 on the board.
And I think that's something that's so unique to Stony Brook's offense, and something that head coach Spalina and his coaching staff really take pride in when it comes to an offense, is clearing the ball, making sure there's multiple threats. Maybe one day is Ellie Macera's day, and the next day is Kaylin Hart's day, and so on and so forth. And the best days they have are when there are multiple goal scorers on the stat sheet.
And Hart got a piece of that one, but it goes out of bounds, stays with Delaware. It's a break for Delaware as they're able to maintain possession. We look for a long possession here to give their defense a break. Stu was very hot early, haven't called her number much recently. That's a nice handle in tight. See if they can come away with it. Delaware's got the line on it. That one goes out of bounds, and that one's going to come up. Stony Brook.
See head coach Joe Spalina and assistant coach Greg Michelli on the sideline cheering on Ellie Macera for that hustle play.
Nice check from behind. Dislodges it from Levy's stick. Stu comes away with it. Going to be Stony Brook once again. Out call here. While the teams talk it over, we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. Be sure to stay with us here on Lacrosse TV. We've got the women's CAA semifinal game number 2 coming up right after this one. It's the Drexel Dragons versus the Towson Tigers, and it should be a good one. Opening draw is scheduled for 2:30 p.m. Eastern. It's CAA tournament action all day long here on Lacrosse TV. Chris Marshall and Kylie Ohlmiller with you on this one, and really tight game early with Delaware going out to the early lead, but Stony Brook pouring it on here, especially in the third quarter, coming out of the timeout. But some of the stats that you might think of for a team that should be winning the game starting to show up. 27 versus 9 shots in favor of Stony Brook, 17-9 in favor of ground balls. Stony Brook 13-2 in favor of caused turnovers, going Stony Brook's way as well. And I think we're seeing some of those things start to stack up and put goals in the back of the net.
Definitely have seen a difference in this Stony Brook team heading into this second half. You've seen a little bit of a pep in their step in terms of just kind of stepping up on defense and really moving the ball on offense. A couple of different goal scorers. We have 7 different goal scorers out of the 12 goals you see on the board. Really just looking as if they're kind of settling in, and took them a little bit in the first quarter. Credit to Delaware's coming out nice and strong.
Sure, a great look inside as she's going to her knees. What a finish. And that is Verhulst's third of the day as well. Once again, Macera impacting the game all over the field.
This is what makes Ellie Macera so great, is plays like this. She gets out of the face guard to grab the ball. She's driving across to do what she does best. And as she's falling to her knees, she's literally on the ground and passes the ball to Charlotte Verhulst. The way that she sees that play happening as she's falling to her knees is really, really impressive. And again, she just makes it look so easy. I don't know how she does it, but she really does make it so fun to watch. And you saw them celebrating that one together. That's a big time play for two of Stony Brook's big time players.
I know for a fact hitting the turf like that is uncomfortable as well, with your knees taking the brunt of it. So impressive to be able to make that pass.
Definitely not the most comfortable, but Ellie Massara is an athlete at heart. She's been doing that for years. She's able to make plays all over the field, whether she's diving or falling down or gets pushed over, and she just continues to really step up and make those big plays.
And that's Hampel with another draw control. As we close in on 6.5 minutes to play here in the third. Stony Brook settling in, looking content to take some of the time off the shot clock here, at least early in the possession. Keeping the ball along the outside. Hart looking to come downhill, looks for the cutter, just off the mark. Delaware's got a line on it. They're able to come away with the ground ball, see if they can get onto the offensive side. And a nice clear for Delaware. As they settle back in to their offensive set and their offensive personnel. That one's going to stay Delaware. Just off the errant pass. There's the cut inside and the shot. Bukowski up to the challenge. But a pretty good opportunity on the doorstep for Delaware. There's Levy showing off the wheels. Loses the handle just in front. Coming back the other way.
We saw a couple minutes possession like this earlier in the game where it was a little bit of a back and forth. Both players with some balls on the ground that usually wouldn't be uncharacteristic for both teams. We'll see if Delaware is able to kind of just settle into their offense here.
And we've seen Delaware take it further into the shot clock, but the double team there causes the turnover. Again, Stony Brook throws it away. Come back the other direction. 2 turnovers in a row for Stony Brook on the clear.
See Morgan Gore and company for Delaware just kind of taking a deep breath, passing it around here. The ball's been back and forth in the middle of the field a couple of times.
Delaware looking to regain a little bit of that confidence they had early in this one when they were out to an early lead. Nice look inside by the cutter. There's the shot. Dukowski once again up to the challenge. But Delaware being dangerous on the offensive side.
Dukowski 2 in a row and point blank saves too. Right on her doorstep, and she's able to just kind of stand tall and see them all the way through.
But Delaware, great patience on that offensive set. That's about as open as we've seen a player on the back cut since the first quarter. So finding something offensively. Delaware, still plenty of time left to play in this one. As we edge towards 2 minutes left in the third. Delaware continuing to stick with the face guard of Macera. And that one finds the back of the net once again, as that pushes the lead to 8 for Stony Brook.
Morgan Mitchell off the drive, coming right across. She has been so solid for the Seawolves this season. You see her kind of just sweeping across the top of that 8, sees that she has just a little bit of her hands free and is able to really just kind of reach around her defender and sneak that one past McCarthy at the end of the shot clock too. Stony Brook really just kind of taking care of the ball, looking for the right opportunity, looking for the best opportunity, and looking into those, lessons in time management as they edge towards the end of this third quarter with an 8-goal lead, just kind of thinking about some of those things as they head into, the rest of May.
That's 2 goals, 2 assists for Mitchell on the day. That one's once again going to come up Stony Brook. And draws have been pretty even throughout the day. Practically an even split. It seems the momentum has turned a little in Stony Brook's favor here in the second half after some early success from Delaware in the circle.
Definitely. And you see Stony Brook just kind of getting the ball around. Everyone gets a touch.
That one just off the mark and to stay with Stony Brook. McCarthy got a piece of it as they're going to turn the shot clock off as we get inside of a minute here to play in the third.
The new rule as of this year that the shot clock doesn't reset to 90 seconds after a shot off the cage or off the goalie. It resets to 60 seconds. So Stony Brook will get that full 60 here if they opt to use it.
Hart cutting inside, takes the shot, finds the back of the net, and that one is going to count. That Hart gets her third of the game.
We've seen Kaylin Hart do this a couple of times so far today, just kind of weaving through a couple of sliding defenders, protecting her stick as she does so. And she's so speedy off that left elbow. And she kind of, as you see here, that quick face dodge, 2 sliding defenders, gets past the first one and is able to kind of just put the ball past Mercy McCarthy in a perfect spot. Not really looking for a pretty corner, just looking for the perfect spot to get past the goalie. And I think that's a great, smart play there for Kaylin Hart.
Maggie Farragher coming to the circle for Delaware. A little different look. McCarthy had such a good first half when her defense was putting her in a position to be successful. But seeing a lot of rubber right now in this third quarter. Tough to make saves in that tight.
Definitely tough to make saves, especially as, someone as speedy as Kaylin Hart or Ellie Macera or Morgan Mitchell are kind of coming across. Mercy McCarthy has done a great job so far today, and she's seen a lot of shots.
Macera holding on to it, finally moves it. Inside of 10 seconds, there's a look inside, and there's 2 in a row for Hart. And that's an absolute dagger to close out the third quarter, her 4th of the game. And that pushes the lead to double digits for the first time.
Kaylin Hart right off the cut, Ellie Macera off the draw, pushes the ball quickly, recognizing the time, right to Jaden Hampel. catches that ball on the elbow, and Kaylin Hart streaking across the middle, that catch and opposite pipe finish. That's just a thing of beauty to finish out the third quarter.
Well, don't go anywhere. Still one quarter of action coming your way. We'll be right back.
We welcome you back to CAA semifinal action between the Stony Brook Seawolves and the Delaware Blue Hens. 16-6 in favor of Stony Brook. Ellie Massera with another draw.
An opportunity with numbers once again coming downhill. There's the shot and the goal, finding the back of the net. Massera once again. That's her fourth of the day. Add 2 apples. That is just fantastic from her.
Ellie Massera just doing what she does best. She gets the draw control right away, pushes the ball upfield, and then is able to kind of get that give and go action right there. Morgan Mitchell for another assist. She's had her eyes up all day long. And these two working together is just something so beautiful to watch. Ellie Massera, again, just kind of coming off that draw control, pass, cut to the middle, and she is just really great at being able to finish the ball.
And I suppose the question, looking forward to Saturday and beyond, with an 11-goal lead here in the fourth quarter. Obviously, Lacrosse notorious for not having any leads be safe. But when do you look to get a little deeper into the rotation here if you're Coach Spallina?
Well, I think as you're in May, you want to make sure that this is, as you mentioned, this is definitely a win. You want to make sure that you can actually get to Saturday. So there are some different lessons in time management as you get to a point in this game as well. A 17-6 lead. So yes, you have an 11-goal lead. The clock is running because you have over a double-digit lead. But you also want to make sure that your big players are able to handle the pressure of managing that clock and understanding, let's try to get down to under 20 seconds in the shot clock before we go to the cage, and thinking about, just having them mesh well together and keeping that chemistry going. So I'm sure we'll see some changes in just a few minutes, but I wouldn't count Delaware out for any sort of, comeback just quite yet, because they did come out strong. And they want to make sure that they're finishing out their season well.
And we saw a change in the cage. Fooey in, McCarthy out for Delaware.
And McCarthy had a big day today. She had some nice point-blank saves on a Stony Brook offense that's had above 30 shots so far in this game.
And that one batted down. And Fooey going to send the ball up. Coming in, Sophia Fooey, 4 appearances, just over 120 minutes. 50% save percentage coming in. So a grad student with a ton of experience. So great option to have such a seasoned goalie on the sideline.
We have a goalie change on the Stony Brook side as well. Haley Duchnowski is out.
And Jones in.
Leah Jones is in.
Stony Brook settling into their offense here. A lot of the usual suspects still out there. Crow's looking inside. Couldn't find Mitchell. See what the call is here. They're going to get a yellow card. Going against Delaware.
Seems as if that call was a little bit of a high cross check that went into the head, neck, shoulder area of Kaylin Hart, who has the ball outside the 12. Stony Brook's going to get a fresh 90-second shot clock to work with on this woman up opportunity. So with 11 minutes left in the game and an 11-goal lead, 11-11, actually, with an 11-goal lead, they'll look to kind of utilize a lot of this shot clock.
And that yellow card going against Morgan Gore. When I think you talk about management of time and clock towards the end of games, especially in May. Saw that in the national semifinal a year ago in the matchup between Northwestern and UNC. A run of epic proportions for UNC to make their way back into that game.
Definitely coming back from, almost a double-digit difference in that game. And you recognize how important every single possession is when you see a game like that. And as you get into May, these conference championships and then the NCAA tournament, every time out is another time to play with your teammates and just another day together as you get closer and closer to May.
And with another good save. Brings her total to 3. But she's been a nice little spark for this Delaware squad on the defensive side.
Yes, she's definitely read some of those shots well that are coming off the cuts from Stony Brook's offense. She has a few saves on Morgan Mitchell.
That one's coming up Stony Brook once again.
Jones with the clear to Fusco. Fusco getting some minutes late in this game, but she's been a big asset off the bench for Stony Brook all season long.
And again, working with that running clock with the double-digit lead. So time coming through the hourglass pretty quickly for Delaware right now.
Stony Brook still with the woman up opportunity for just a little bit longer. Actually, I'm sorry. They're even now. They had it for the
that's going to be the charge.
This possession, and we'll get a charge call for Jolie Crea.
But a nice defensive stand there for Delaware. Art with it. Moves it to Fusco. As we close in on the final 8 minutes of action here. Stony Brook looking content to move the ball along the outside. Take some more of this clock off.
You see the shot clock in the top right corner of the field there, also down low on the bottom right corner of your screen. Just about 45 seconds left in these management positions where you're looking to kind of just manage those possessions, waste away some game clock. You're looking for the best opportunity at or under 30 seconds left in those shot clocks, typically.
And there's another shot, and that one's going to be backed up by Delaware. Nice hustle play. Coming back the other direction. And certainly a lot more excitement at the end of these games in the last few years with the addition of the shot clock. Much different strategy than we saw on both the men's and women's side even 10 years ago, where we'd see extended 5-6 minute possessions, really taking the air out of the ball. Certainly an extra wrinkle of excitement.
Definitely a great addition to the women's game, especially. The shot clock has added so much more of an exciting piece for viewers and fans, and especially newcoming fans to the game, watching lacrosse and wanting to see fast-paced play. It's been exciting to see these athletes be able to really adjust to the shot clock.
opting not to take the shot from the 8-meter, sending it across. Jones with a great save, aggressive step across the cage. But certainly closer to what you see at the professional level as well. We touched on that briefly earlier, but maybe we'll see some of these players have the opportunity to line up with or against you in the future, maybe even the near future.
That would be exciting. It definitely would. And it's awesome for the game to be able to have a professional league on the women's side for players who are out there in these kinds of games here collegiately, who may be seniors or graduate seniors who have something to potentially look forward to or continue playing with. Stony Brook just continuing to work the ball around the outside. See a couple new faces in there, really just getting some touches.
When I think any playoff experience you can get, be it in the conference tournament or the NCAA tournament, is always valuable. Opportunity to get your name in the scorebook.
And just those opportunities to get in those games and be comfortable in those moments, because when you play college lacrosse, there are so many examples of players who don't play their first couple of years and then come out firing, just like right here.
For Stony Brook coming around the cage, they're able to extend the lead once again, this time to 12, almost identical score line that we're looking at to the game in the regular season. As we get another look at it here.
Casey Colbert just kind of dancing around the back of that crease. She recognizes the end of the shot clock and she utilizes her left hand. Coming around the back of that crease to her left hand is really important as an ex-attacker, being able to go either way. And she really just takes that step right around her defender and is able to finish past the goalie.
And Colbert, the 8th goal scorer on the day for Stony Brook. Again, this one ended 19-6 in favor of Stony Brook in the regular season. Looking down at 18-6 so far in this one. But very similar story arc to the game in the regular season as well. Delaware able to keep it close early on, and Stony Brook really pouring it on in the second half once again today.
Very similar, and you have to give credit to Delaware's offense, their defense, all over the field. They were really locked in the first quarter. They've done a great job at, sticking with a player like Ellie Macera, keeping the face guard on her, making it really difficult for her to get the points that she's gotten today. And credit to their goalies who have been making a ton of stops on this Stony Brook offense as well.
Absolutely. And certainly one of the ways these top 10 caliber teams get there is with their depth. And with those 8 goal scorers, it's tough to know who to guard when they have so many weapons and just wearing down this Delaware squad. Takeaway for Delaware, heading back the other direction. And it looks like the officials are going to stop play here. Here's they might be issuing another yellow card. Either way, Stony Brook going to maintain possession as we get under 2 minutes. And Stony Brook can take this down to about 50 seconds. If that one goes out of bounds, going to come up Delaware. And nice cut inside, unable to connect the pass. As now Stony Brook would have an opportunity to take the rest of the time off the clock. Shot clock is turned off as we close in on the final 60 seconds of play in game number 1. Header today on Lacrosse TV. Donnelly moves it across. See the double team coming from Delaware. And that's Fusco. He's going to start with it here. As again, time continues to come off the clock.
With that double-digit lead, time continuing to run. Stony Brook just looking to get out of the double team that Delaware is continuing to give them towards the end of the game. Making sure they leave it all out on the field. You have to give credit where credit is due. They played a great game today. They had a great season. Big time win against number 2 Towson earlier in the week to get into this CAA tournament. They had another week together as a team.
And that is how this one is going to end. Stony Brook advancing, taking down Delaware 18-6. Behind the strength of 8 goal scorers, Macera and Hart leading the way, both with 4 and 2. Certainly don't go anywhere. We've got tons of action coming your way. And stay with us for the play of the game coming up. We'll be right back.
The CAA Women's Lacrosse Championship is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above, and by Ticket Smarter, the official ticket resale partner of the CAA. Think smarter, think Ticket Smarter.
And there you see Stony Brook advancing as the number 1 seed over the number 4 seed Delaware into Saturday's championship game at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Next up, we've got Towson and Drexel going head-to-head for an opportunity to run into Stony Brook again on Saturday. So don't go anywhere. You definitely want to see that. But right now, we've got today's sub-above play of the game presented by Jersey Mike's. And who else but Ellie Macera to make it 6-5. Stony Brook, her first goal of the game, gave Stony Brook its first lead of the game, and they never looked back as they were able to hold Delaware to 1 goal the rest of the way and poured on offensively. She was on her way to 4 and 2. And that was today's sub-above play of the game presented by Jersey Mike's. Opportunity here for a couple of final thoughts. Excellent effort from Delaware. Looked very dangerous in the first half, but ultimately Stony Brook looking like the top 10 team that we've become accustomed to seeing as they really poured it on in the second half. Chris Marshall here with Kylie Ohlmiller. Kylie, what are some of your final thoughts here on the game before we close out?
Yeah, I was really impressed with how Delaware came out. It's not easy to play against a top 10 team, and they really left it all out there. Stony Brook really kind of poured everything on in the second quarter, and especially the second half, showed us why they are one of the top programs in the country. And I think it's going to be an exciting game between the 2 and 3 matchups in the CAA with Towson and Drexel, a championship matchup from last year.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be back for game number 2 of our quadruple header. Kylie Ohlmiller, I'm Chris Marshall. You've been watching Lacrosse TV, and we'll see you soon.